Hey everybody, Larry Lawton here. I got a great video for you today. And you know what happens with me on videos or movies or TV shows? I look at them in a different way. Obviously, Uncut Gems hits close to home. It's about gems or diamonds, and well, in this case, a rare opal from Ethiopia. So before I get started, please check us out on member programs, YouTube, Patreon. Please check my book out, Gangster Redemption, our merch. I had to wear my diamond shirt for today. Anyway, everybody, I want to get into this movie because it brought me home. It was made in New York City. Obviously, 47th Street is the Diamond Exchange between 5th and 6th and parts of 7th Avenue, all the way up 47th. And I go there, I know it. First of all, the movie's about a guy who's crazy. His name is Howard Ratner. And Howard is a junkie gambler. He's got an addiction problem that's really bad. What an acting job by Adam Sandler, man. I mean, I love him anyway in all his movies, from Happy Gilmore to whatever. Howard, but he is amazing to me. He just, to go from a comedy actor to a serious actor. This New York role he played was off the charts. And one of the best roles I've ever saw him play anyway. And it had my attention because everybody in that movie had to be from New York, because the way they acted, the way they're looking, their expressions, and it's something you can't fake or even learn in an acting school. Can't do that. There's no way you can do that. And this one, this really got me. So I'm gonna jump into a few things right off the bat that got me.
Hey, there he is. KG, don't you got a game tonight?
This is 47th Street. Now, I didn't deal on 47th Street with stolen diamonds. I did that downtown, where the old Diamond Exchange really used to be. And it probably still is. A lot of your diamonds come up there, go underground, and get distributed all over the place. That's just the way it goes. And, you know, I used to give my hot diamonds to people down there, and they're all over mine went to California mostly, or all over the world, or taken out and reset and a whole bunch of things. But in this one, you see these counters and everything, and they're all different jewelry companies, what you're seeing. There's a jeweler there, and he's talking to someone. There's another guy, those two guys. They actually all chip in and buy a spot in that building or in that place. Somebody owns it, and they break it up to 10 or 12 jewelers in it or more. And there's a lot of bartering and a lot of, hey, you got this. They're all in cahoots in one way or another. I told you the diamond business is the biggest rip-off fucking business in the world. Don't think it's not.
I'm sorry. So your money's going to go into my account. I'll wire it right back to you. It's
including
like it never happened.
20%.
Absolutely. It comes right out of my pocket.
That is nearly 38 grand, Howard.
I know that.
38
okay.
grand.
What I liked about this film, it was really New York based, and it was a lot of street shots. Wasn't a lot of office talk and shit. They had their stuff where they were, but it had a lot of confrontations on the street, and that's where shit happens in New York. You know, you run into someone, it's not like, hey, I'll meet you later at 5 and we'll talk about it in the office. The guy ain't fucking showing up. You get him right on the street, you gotta fucking rough him up, do what you do. And you know, New Yorkers are amazing in this. And watching the movie, New Yorkers didn't even blink. And that is true. I mean, I've seen some shit happen and New Yorkers just walk by like it's another day in the park. I guess they get so used to crazy shit in New York, it doesn't bother them anymore. It really doesn't. But here's this guy who gets a opal or a special diamond, uncut gem, from Ethiopia mines. He has it smuggled in. Now he thinks he's gonna get $1 million for this thing. That's an uncut thing, and that's what the whole story is based on. But it's really based on this guy Howard, who is a junkie gambler. And I relate a little bit because I was a junkie gambler at one time. I lost $3 million through my life. I lost $250,000 in 1 week. 2 weeks that was. I was just a junkie gambler, but I could stop it. I could then not gamble. That's just the way I was. I have that ability to stop an addiction or stop anything I want. And I often talk about that, how you have to do that. But this guy can't. And what it really showed me in the movie is his character is truly like they are. I don't think they gave a shit if they won or lost. They more cared for the excitement, the adrenaline. Will they win the game? Not just the bets they made. That's the part of it. but you want to win. But even when you win, you got to bet more and more and more, and it's never gonna end. Now, what also struck me in the movie, they show his business. In his business, he had to be successful. Here's a guy with an apartment with a girl in it, home on Long Island, a jewelry shop in the Diamond Exchange, which that's the creme de la creme. He knows everybody there, so they're dealing with him. So he must have had some kind of reputation or something there that was positive. And even the amount of stuff in his little shop. Now, what they show that at the end when these guys start robbing his place. Is that really his, or is that loaner pieces from another jeweler on consignment? Could be a lot of different ways jewelers put stuff in the cabinets or the display cases to get people in and then to sell them, whatever. Especially someplace like the Diamond Exchange. You're gonna buy a loose stone. You're usually gonna have it set. You're gonna have it made. They have jewelers down there that make this stuff, the gold, and they melt the gold. They make the rings and the facets, everything. So I look at that and say, wow, he wasn't such a loser, even though he's in a hole. Listen, when you're a gambler, that stuff happens. But that goes for any addiction. It could be a drug addiction, it could be a gambling addiction, it could be eating addiction, it could be a sex addiction, it could be whatever addiction could hurt you. Now, he did everything, obviously, but he had a gambling addiction is what really made him nuts. But it didn't stop him. It's amazing, the threats, the violence, I love the one scene. Look at this scene.
You gonna call us? I'll call. Are you gonna get that bitch down here now? I'll probably take me out. All right, come on, get him.
Look at him hanging out that window. You know, that brought back a lot of memories because I know a friend who did that to somebody. Two guys did that, huge dudes, and they hung him out a Wall Street window. And I think it was like 20 or 30 stories up. How do you like that if that happens? Man, if that doesn't get your heart in your throat, because even if they slip, you're dead. Let me give you a quick thing on bookmakers and loan sharks and people like that with money. The federal government or the police wouldn't even give a shit about a bookie. Wants to book a bet, they don't give a shit. At least in New York, they don't. Any place I remember, they don't. Whether it's Fort Lauderdale or, they're not caring about that. What they care about is if you commit violence to get the money that's owed to you. Guy owes you 20 grand and you threaten to break his legs, you're going to jail for the extortion and you're going to jail for the threat of violence. Bookmaking is nothing. That's such a crap charge. Nobody cares about it. But if you're going to threaten someone or do something to someone to get that money, that's what the government or the local authorities are going to get you for. That's the thing they're going to get you for. So they have to play a very different game today. Obviously, subliminal messages work, like blow a car up on his block. Just call and say, I heard a car got blown up. Do you have my money? You didn't say anything, nothing. It's just, are you all right? Something like that. Now look at me now, I'm not giving tips on ways to do things. I'm not doing that. I know it sounds like that, but I'm not. I really am not. But I love that scene. Okay, we're gonna go to a few more.
Look at this. It's Kevin Garnett's 2008 championship ring.
Championship ring?
Championship ring, 2008.
He brings Kevin Garnett's ring. Kevin Garnett wants this special uncut thing.
The stone will really connected with this, man. I feel like I'm gonna have 40 or 50 on this, man.
He thinks it gives him power in a basketball game. That's an underlying story here. Now this jeweler ended up giving it back to him at a hefty rate. You know, the VIG, they talked VIG in here. They talked all stuff that I knew. VIG just means interest. Let me give you a quick rundown on how VIG works on loan sharking. People go, what's loan sharking? Well, it's when I give you, and how loan sharking works. Here's a lesson. If I give you $1,000 and I charge you 3 points, 3%, you have to give me $30 every week until the principal is paid. Not that $30, that's just the interest every week. So if you come to me, let's just do it in bigger numbers. You come to me and say, hey Larry, I need 20 grand, the tax people are gonna shut me down. So how it happens with bars and stuff. I go, okay, listen, it's 3 points. 3 points on 20 grand is $600 every week. Every week, he's gotta give me $600. Boom. Come Friday, 600. I collect, go right to his door. Now, not one of that 600 is coming off my 20 grand. So I say, you got 6 months to pay, don't fuck with me. He pays me 600 every single week. Six. At the end of 6 months, he didn't pay me. He doesn't have my 20 grand. Now he just paid me 600 a month for 26 weeks. So figure that out. 2 times 6 is 12. That's 12,000 plus the next remaining, whatever, is about 14,000 something. He just paid me already 14,000. Not one piece of that is off the 20 grand. I give him a break. I said, listen to me, I'm not playing with you, but now I'm charging you 5 points. 5 points on 20 grand is $1,000. That's $1,000 a week he's got to give me. Every week he's giving me 1,000 because he's making the money at the door. He might have a band that comes in. Whatever he has is coming in. And he's giving me my 1,000. 26 weeks comes up, he still owes me $20,000. In 26 weeks now, he already paid me $26,000 for the last one, and whatever the other number is there, 14 or whatever it is, so it's near $40,000. I'm not gonna get the exact in my head. It's $40,000 he gives me, still owing me $20,000. That's when I say, listen, either you're gonna pay me or I'm gonna become your partner. I'll buy your partnership for 50 grand. He already gave me 40, still owes me 20 now. I say, you owe me 20, here's 30. I still got money in my pocket already, and now I own part of his place. So that's how I bought my places, and I was a loan shark, bookie, the whole works, and all collectively. And so I made a lot of money. Well, this guy, Howard, is into the same people in the same way. He can't pay, so he's borrowing from this guy to pay this guy. And that's what junkie gamblers do. Go to the bookie, place a bet, lose it, go to another bookie, have a credit line. There's a zillion ways they do it. And obviously, if you're over your head, if you're even watching this and you're saying, oh yeah, I remember, or I'm doing this, get help, because it's like any other addiction. If you can't handle it, then get help. I mean, help's out there, and nobody's too big to get help. So I love that part of this, but let's get to another part of the movie.
You know, I show up at the auction, you had somebody bid against me, all these fucking games, like, what the fuck are you doing, man? Like, you don't know, you don't think I know this? You don't think I know none of this?
It's complicated, KG. You see this face? Do you see
Here's
this?
$165,000 right here. Cash.
I'll tell you another part of the movie, Kevin Garnett. Kevin Garnett, what an actor. He did a great job. But I gotta say, a lot of these people in this movie, I think, are just playing themselves. I think a lot of those people were jewelers. I think a lot of those people were just regular New Yorkers. I didn't see any big actors in there, actresses. Adam Sandler. I just think the way these two directors, or guys who wrote this, they casted the right people. Because you have to cast people who are themselves. And a guy like me, who's a New Yorker, could spot that.
The fuck was that?
All right, I fucked up. It was a mistake, all right? I know it. I admit it. I gotta just hit pause for 1 fucking second. I'm gonna call Kevin, because I know he fucking wants it. And you saw, he's got the 175, and then everything will be copacetic, all right?
Adam Sandler just played the greatest part. You know, the typical guy that's, I call him New Yorker, that's trying to get out of things, quick on his feet, talk his way out of anything, or try to talk, until he runs into the guys that know the same bullshit, heard it enough, and say, you know, it's over now, okay? Howard, it's over. We want our money. Because let's face it, nobody wants to kill you or hurt you even if you owe money. How are you gonna get paid? The only thing I used to lend money to people was people who own things, like a restaurant, a boat. One time it was an aluminum siding company, and I have something I can take, I can own. I'm surprised these guys just didn't come in. They did at one point. These guys he owed money that came and took a $20,000 watch off his wrist and whatever cash he had on him. It's not much, $1,200, I think it was. In this movie, this way wouldn't go down like this. They would just go into his shop and take whatever the hell they want right out of those counters. If I had lent money to him and he didn't give me that money, that's what I would have did to Adam Sandler. I would have went right in and said, let me see these things. I'll hold on to them. Want my money. If I don't have my money, I'm getting rid of this shit. What's he gonna do? Go to the police? Tell him I gave him the money. Simple. Was he gonna rat on you then? They'd say no. Nah, he ain't gonna do that. I'll tell you the biggest shocker in the movie to me. Not the gambler, not Mike Francesa. Mike Francesa, if you know, he was a big time radio. I think he was the biggest in New York. And Mike Francesa was a big Met guy, not a Yankee guy, a Met guy. And he was, announcer. He's a radio show, talk show host. He's a pretty big guy. He's the guy who's played the bookie, the restaurant owner bookie. Of course, I knew him, but not many people. There wasn't much of that.
there?
1 second.
This scene right here where they had the money counting, I remember getting paid with those machines. And actually what happens is a bill shoots up out of the top if it's a counterfeit. And they never paid me a counterfeit. They don't want me getting caught with counterfeit bills, obviously. So I always made sure, they always made sure I had my money right.
Hello, open the door.
Okay. Jesus. You with KJ? Okay, well, you gotta shut that door. It's KG, huh? Is that closed?
That's my man.
Now, I wanted to show you something. You can't get in this place. It's bulletproof glass. One way in, one way out. And you have to usually come in, they close that door, open this door, and let you in. So they know exactly who's coming and going in one of these places. Obviously, you want people like Kevin Garnett and anybody with money coming into your place. And they do. But this is a great spot because I've seen many of them. And you'll see the cameras and everything else. And what he does here near the end of this movie is just is wild. Now you gotta remember, this guy is robbing for Peter, trying to make bets. They didn't put it in. He's trying to get out of debt with all these people. It would have never worked. You know, the plot or the movie line, I wouldn't give a shit if he wins $5 million. A guy like that's gonna spend $5 million. End of story. The next time you see him, he'll either have a lot of money or he'll be looking to loan money, get money from you to make a bet, to win, to make a bigger bet. And that's how they get in that cycle. With him, he just, you know, he's thinking he's always gonna get out. He's always got that big scheme. And you know, I often think about this, and I know this is gonna sound crazy. Was I like that in my own way? Maybe I was. Trying to make more money for what? Trying to, you know, buy more toys. I don't know. It was weird. Just like this guy. As much as they show he's a junkie gambler and he's not poor. He's supporting a girl in an apartment, a wife with a kid. He's got this jewelry shop. He's driving around in a Mercedes Benz. So in my mind, this guy's not broke. I don't know if it's all on the arm or if it's all on loan. He's not living that bad. I can tell you that. Going to Knicks games, going places. So he's definitely not that kind of person. Okay, now I'm going to this final scene. I want you to watch this for just a few seconds.
Hey, and make sure they fucking walk you to the car. And they're gonna, all right? I'm gonna fuck you a blade.
I'll worry.
All right, I'll call you back.
Son of a bitch.
Otto,
I can't
I'll
fucking
do it,
believe
Otto.
What? What the fuck did you just do?
I had no fucking clue this movie was gonna end that way. They just kill him right there. And they kill his brother-in-law. And look what they're doing too now. Now look. They're robbing the store. Now, of course that made me think, why are you robbing the store when you could have just took all the shit in the beginning, come up another time? You slapped the guy in the face once with a whole bunch of people around and you didn't give a shit and he didn't say anything. Why don't you just go there and get there and go take some shit right out of his fucking shelves? He's got a lot of money in jewelry right there. Take it. Take the fucking shit. Obviously, then you have no movie. But that's what a real loan shark would have did. First of all, a real loan shark only loan sharks money to people he knows he's going to get it back. When I loan shark money, I gave it to business owners or drug dealers or other wise guys because I know I'm getting my money back. The only reason I'm not getting my money back from a drug dealer is if he's dead or in jail. I'll take that shot. The business owners, they always struggle. You own some piece of that. Get a boat or just get your vig and walk on. That happens a lot too. They do realize that they get the money and they pay and that's it. They just paid an exorbitant interest rate. That's all they did. So it's no different than credit cards today if you really want to be honest. But they do it under the legal guise. So here he gets killed at the end of this movie and I thought about it for a while. What other ending is there? There were two endings for Howard. He's going to get killed or he's going to go to jail because he's going to rob something or do something or swindle somebody, get caught because he's a junkie. That's the two real endings to Howard, unless they showed a rehab or somehow him quitting it and having a stable person. But he's got that crazy personality. I would hope, I don't know his age in the movie. I'm guessing mid-30s. I went to prison at 34. So I get it. I get the age. Now as an older guy, I see back and look at it in a whole different light. Anyway, but I think you get the point of this movie. Good movie. Crazy guy, Adam Sandler, a junkie gambler, finds an opal, tries to get the opal to get out of all his gambling debt, but it's really based on him and his gambling debts and the surrounding small life on the diamond exchange. Now, that's a pretty common scenario anywhere. Doesn't have to be at the diamond exchange. Just remember that. It could be on the avenue at stores. It could be with the Grumman workers who work in a federal, plant, one of these big corporations, whatever it is. It happens. Human beings do bad things or get in trouble, and they don't know how to get out of it, and then they do other crazy things. That's just the way life is. And that's okay, because you can all change too. Anyway, I hope you liked it. I know my movie reviews or the way I look at movies are different. I hope you like them. I'm going to break down a couple of really good movies we're coming up with. But also, please, check us out. Comment below. I'm going to be here answering them. You know I do that all the time. So comment below. Say hello. Have a great day. And I will see you back here in the next video.